last week.
Live now. Welcome. What's happening to the Debo Absurd After Party?
2 days later.
2 days later, it's Tuesday, because we actually went to Denver. I see you, Tony. Tony, I see you. It's out there, brother. Tony C., my buddy from Motor Extreme and whatnot. Nick Delosier, my co-host. ND.
Good to be here.
Good to be here.
How are you?
We're live from the Cullinane Studios. We're coming to you live on Tuesday because we went to the races. Unlike you, what the fuck happened?
Life.
You told me, I texted you, like, you tell me, like,
life and circumstances and plenty of good reasons just to not go.
Let's not get into that. Well, you watched it on TV. It was a great weekend. It was pretty out of control. We did Friday night. Why is it echoing a little bit? Got a little echo in my head? Can you hear it?
No. All right. No.
But we flew in Friday night, me and the Cullinane foursome, and went and did the Pulp MX show. Great weekend. Great racing Saturday night. Eli Tomac crushed it. We'll get into that here in a little bit. Home race. What do you think about that? You liked watching it, right? It's always good to see someone crush, be the best they can be, right?
It was badass. Props to Eli.
No Elito. Elito is dead.
I think he might have staked him.
Eli doesn't like when I refer to him as Elito. And let's be honest, Elito right now is dead, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So Friday night we land in Denver, go straight to the Pulp MX show, and just get hammered. Or at least Dan and Chad do. Don't look at me like that, Chad. I go up on stage. I'm stoked. You know, my Budman's there. My friends from JGR, our friends from JGR, Wes, Mikey, and Hot Brett. Hot Brett.
Easy there.
He is a handsome
devil. Calm your shorts.
He's a handsome devil.
He's a government agent. I don't know what he does there, but he left early because he had to go to a bachelor party. But so don't get mad, J-Bone and JGR, because they were all there. Great show. Had tons of fun. I don't know if you had to get a chance to listen to
it. Snippets of it. Yep.
Yeah.
Via Snapchat stories.
Yeah.
My buddy Cody once was there, and he was kind of.
It finally went live, I think, yesterday. It was pretty cool. You know, I think that with Steve Mathis at Pulp MX and doing those live shows with Weege and
it looked like a good time.
It's pretty cool. You know, obviously Mathis' fan base is educated on the sport, and the place was packed, and they just talked moto as they do Pulp MX, but a live venue. People were laughing and cheering. And,
every little Snapchat story I would little clip that I'd watch, it was just filled with people laughing, and it almost looked like you guys were at a comedy show telling jokes up there.
It was a solid base format, and I was stoked to be a part of it. Kiefer and those guys, Kiefer's telling dirty stories about his wife and whether or not they should sleep together before a race, which was pretty funny. And I'm like, and I didn't know the format. What's the F-bomb levels, and
sure.
They were pretty relevant, and once I realized that we could tell those type of stories, I felt like I fit right in with. Basically, I led with the fact that don't wear corduroy shorts or strip club without underwear.
Okay.
There's chafing.
I'll write that down.
Write that down.
I will.
Don't cut a Spirit Rhino down by the airport without underwear. Remember that, Nick.
Okay. Noted.
So that was good, and then we went out that night with some friends. Producer Dan actually puked.
Yeah,
at the bar.
That happens.
But the biggest thing is I met this German flight attendant.
Mm-hmm.
She's like young, adorable.
Is it Facebook official yet? Is she ready to meet the fam?
No.
No?
I think we'll get married in Omaha. We'll have the reception in Germany, I think. I think that'll work out.
Awesome. Everyone's invited.
Everyone's invited.
Yes.
All 8 of you that are listening tonight are invited. But we went out after the Pulp show. We went to a bar across the street. Ran into my great friends that I'm so pumped I met. DL, Wade, and Wade from Dallas. They were in town. Wade lives there in the Colorado area. DL lives in Austin. A lot of madness from our Dallas days. Wade used to be the door guy or run rally at the men's club in Dallas. So you can only imagine.
Perfect.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything goes back to strip club right now.
Yeah, you've talked a lot about that guy.
Wade and DL?
Yes.
You know those guys.
Yeah.
You've heard of them.
No, I've definitely heard of them.
Yeah, from the stories from over the years,
sure.
Whatnot. And I was happy to see them. So then we went back and had to go back to the Crown Plaza, and Hot Brett and the guys were out there on the scooters running a little crazy. That's a big thing in Denver. We were just talking about a little bit ago. Lyft has 1,000 millions of scooters around town.
Mm-hmm.
Would you bust one out or what?
I totally would. I would totally 50-50 any curb around here in Omaha.
Yeah, we didn't have the app, so we Ubered everywhere. And don't try an Uber in Denver, huh, Chad?
No.
Don't do it.
Yeah, it costs you like $85 and you go nowhere.
They never show up. No. We left the stadium and we stood there for 3 hours, it felt like, and you're like, they're 2 minutes away. And they never came. Shut up. So what about the races? What did you think? Did you watch? I mean, you were supposed to go and you didn't. I'm going to throw that out again.
Yeah.
Tony Gilmore was supposed to go and he didn't. Little bitch.
Can't count on anybody these days.
Tattooed cunt.
No, the man, the races, they were awesome, man.
The best
Supercross 2019 has yet to disappoint.
And you're not really a big Supercross fan. I mean, you're a lover of motor.
Dude, I'm a dirt bike fan.
You know, you are. I'm not trying to dismiss.
I mean, there's dirt bike racing on TV. I'm going to be watching it. You know,
and it was, and this year has been pretty. It's deliberate.
And you know what's crazy about the whole thing is, despite the amount of riders not there, the amount of injuries that we've had this year, it's still an awesome series. It's still super entertaining. There's still, backstories, that's contributing to what 2019 Supercross is.
But don't you think the injury level is less than it's been in the past? I mean,
no.
Oh, remember that one year there was like 8 guys, factory riders left from Vegas.
Well, factory guys. Okay, well,
I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot, but I don't think the
dude, it's crazy this year.
I think it's less though. I don't know. I mean,
either way, like
the tracks,
generally
the tracks
speaking,
are obviously much easier.
Much
easier than they have been in the past.
Supercross as of late, I mean, I guess anywhere from 2 to 5, 6 years. I don't know. It just seems like you can always count on at least 5 to 8 guys.
But
injured.
Usually it takes place sooner. I think. I think we've had
Well, the latest two would be Chad Reed, Justin Brayton, that duo there. They were injured a couple weeks ago. 2 weeks ago,
first turn crash, yeah.
And then who else is there? Plessinger, Vince Freeze is out. Mookie's done from the get-go.
Yeah, and Anderson.
Yeah, of course.
The reigning champion is out. I don't know. It seems
like Weston Pike.
But that was from Bercy. But the tracks are obviously much easier this season than they've been in the past, I think. And not as many guys I think they're getting hurt more at home than they're getting hurt on the track necessarily.
I don't know if I would agree with that. I mean, you look at all the riders that we just named.
Well, we just saw Dino get hurt. We know how much we love Dino. And down he goes. I don't know what happened there. I sent you guys the video of that.
So on a crash like Dino, do you attribute that to? I mean, obviously these guys are professional at what they do. They know how to negotiate a rhythm section. They know how to ride a Supercross track, and they can do it. 99 laps perfect out of 100, and that one lap is gonna, just like Dino. For some reason he endoed in that rhythm section.
It looked like a 2-stroke ball.
Yeah,
we've all had that when you jump through a section and you're on a 2-stroke and the carburetor like floats or whatever the fuck it does, and it's like bolt, and you just dive to the bars, and that looks exactly what.
Just
happened.
Like the Roxon crash from a couple years ago when he destroyed his arm.
Yeah, that was, I think, more track oriented at the time. But yeah, I mean, it's God, what a pisser! I hate to see Dean going down, and I don't know what happened to Cole Seeley. Did they show it on the TV?
No, I don't know.
He had gone down as well. Haven't seen any report on what his condition was. When you're at the venue, you don't really know what's going on as much. And
when you're watching on TV from the couch drinking beers, you really don't have a good grasp of what's going on either, or remember it the next day.
Oh well, yeah, I've been here doing the same thing. Went home.
That's my excuse.
Went home the next day. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
Me too.
My buddy from Red Bull is like, how was the weekend? I'm like, why? What are you talking about?
What do you know?
Yeah.
No, so I mean, like I asked, what do you blame that on? What do you attribute that to? Is that, I mean, it's the tracks they're not too difficult for the riders because they can do 99 laps perfect out of 100. But yet we have, 10 dudes that are out with injuries.
Motocross is fucking dangerous, man.
Yeah. I mean,
you know that you and I crashed in the same day one weekend in Iowa at a local race, and both busted our ass. I think I broke my hand. You dislocated your shoulder, I think, on the same freaking section.
Yeah.
15 minutes apart from each other. And you've been doing, for your life. Our friendship goes back a long time. You bought my '96 Great Western bike. Your dad did, and when you were 16, and you have experienced some pain and injuries, and as well as I have. And it comes down to the fact that fucking dirt bikes are gnarly.
Yeah, they're dangerous. No question about it.
And now they're going twice as fast with these 450s, twice the power.
So that's kind of what I'm, trying to get into.
Sure.
What specifically is, what's behind it? Is it the 450s? Is it the track layout, for this year's Supercross tracks? What is it? If you've
ever watched a video from the '90s, the tracks are much slower.
Oh, for sure.
Much slower, and on a motorcycle with less power, less torque, less horsepower.
It's noticeably different. Well, I mean, I watch all kinds of old school Supercross races and Supercross races from a few years back, and you can definitely tell there's a distinct difference in the speeds that they're going, even through corners and stuff, and like the rhythm sections that we're watching now. I mean, those guys, it seems like they're more like jumping up, and they're not like making forward progress as much as these guys are.
We've argued with Cody Gilmore a little bit on it, and Cody's raced the 450 in Supercross, and he's given examples of Reedy and stuff, saying that the bikes are safer now because of the torque. But
I think Cody's full of shit.
I think he's full of shit too. The simple fact that you can now come out of
I'm getting those t-shirts made. Fuck Cody Gilmore.
I can't wait.
And yeah, we'll link in the description below.
Yeah.
When they
$10.99.
when they come.
The fact that you can now go broke and fly 80 feet in the air.
Yeah. You can totally fuck the corner up and still make the obstacle.
You can jump a straightaway now in 2 leaps, from one end of the stadium to the other. And I don't think that, and the fact that they make all these jumps now so rounded. I mean, last week, this Denver's race, 42 seconds? They did 28 laps in the 4P main.
Yeah, that was bordering an arena cross lap.
It was pretty
like Guthrie, Oklahoma. That's probably what their lap times were down there.
Pretty damn close. And the more laps you do, the more chance you have for destruction.
Yes. The law of something.
The law of I think it's Murphy's Law or whatnot. But let's go back real quick to that I thought was probably the greatest race that I've seen in a long time is the Heat 2.
The Heat, yeah, of course, yes.
The cat mouse race of Eli and Coop.
I had picked Roxon to win in
our fantasy league. Which
yeah,
you're
and like I said, it was based on the way his bike looked last weekend, specifically in the whoops, and then that one Instagram post that he uploaded during the week of him just turning that whoop section into a straightaway.
He crushed it. Nashville, he was.
You know what I'm talking about? I mean, holy crap!
He was a speed ahead of everyone else. Everyone else was like crap.
So I was like,
we laughed about how do people crash in 7 whoops?
Yeah,
and Roxanne was going.
So the combo of those two things, plus the fact that he probably would have won or done really well last weekend if he had not gotten into it with Sabachi. So all three of those things considered, I picked Roxon for the win. For Denver, but man, he must have signed a no compete clause in his contract because he wasn't competing.
Well, let's go back real quick to the Heat with Eli and Coop. Kenny obviously did not look like himself in that main event.
Yeah,
but that race with Coop,
oh yes,
in the Heat race, Eli and Coop, there was some. It was a pissing contest, basically.
Yeah. So where I was going with that whole Roxon tangent was, as soon as I saw Eli take Webb high into that corner, I mean, it was something uncharacteristic.
For the first time.
Yeah. Holy shit, dude! He went for the fucking jugular right there.
He dove in, ran him high. And
yeah.
Said, fuck you. Everything we've been saying that Eli needs
to
do.
It is almost like
I don't want to take credit for it.
No, neither do I. It's like it's almost like Debo and D-Lo were in his right here, like pussy, and he just went for it, right?
Did everything that we said he should have done 2 weeks ago.
Oh man, as soon as I saw that, I was like, Eli's going to win this main event. I mean, he was
on.
Yeah.
Aggressive, confident, positive, putting the bike where he wanted. But
and what was crazy, it was, I mean, Webb and Eli, they went back and forth for laps, right? And
they ran side for a track that you couldn't pass on. You know, I mean, honestly, with one group, they ran side by side.
Such a good race
for 6 laps at least.
Yeah, and
did you see the way that? I mean, obviously Eli ended up beating him, but the way that Coop could put that KTM, the way he could turn under like on a dime.
Exactly. I'm surprised
on a slippery track.
Surprised that Webb didn't go down. He survived that whole battle that him and Eli had.
He could put that KTM. I've never really seen a bike stick like that, or someone like, I want to turn here, and the rear end never kicked out. And he's like, Eli would have the inside on him, and Coop would go burp and turn right under him, and that KTM would stick on a fucking dime.
Yeah,
on rails, man. Like literally, I mean, it didn't kick out. You know, it's a dry track. I couldn't believe the way Coop could put the bike where he wanted, because a 450 is a big, heavy motorcycle. I mean, it's not a 125.
And Coop's a smaller guy.
And he was able, and obviously Eli was faster. Eli was faster than Whoops. Coop's whoop speed in Denver was horrific. But
was it?
It was terrible.
Really?
Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah, I mean, we watched him every lap, and he. You know, we heard a rumor. I didn't realize was a subject or even a discussion during the Pulp show Friday night. That the industry, the other manufacturers feel that Roger goes and complains about the whoops. That he goes and bitches. The whoops are too big. Roger goes, they're too big. We need to clear them down so my riders can jump through.
Like a little mini dad at a local.
Exactly. Yeah. Like Don going, what the fuck? We make this track better for Denny. But they literally, I didn't know that, and we discussed it with these guys over the weekend. They basically said when they see Roger go out to talk to John Gallagher, the rest of the OEMs are going, oh, fuck, Roger's complaining about the whoops. And then when they get knocked down after practice, like, well, fuck Roger and fuck KTM. I didn't realize that. Because obviously Coop and Muskin are hoppers more than blitzers. Yeah. And the whoops this weekend were, I don't know, barely arena cross style, but they were hard as rocks and they got broken down. And they did kind of cause some problems for some guys. Dakotas couldn't get through him in the 2D main very well, and he dropped back. And Coop was pretty, he wasn't.
I thought he looked pretty solid in the whoops. No,
we sat right above them. We were third deck, and we always like getting high. Not getting high. I like sitting.
Wait a minute.
Ooh, I don't smoke the THC.
Easy there.
I like sitting high whenever I go to a live event, because I like to see the entire track, so I can look out and see where we're doing. We sat right above the whoops, caddy corner from the start line, and you could see who was faster or not. And obviously Tomac crushed the whoops.
Yeah, his whoop speed was phenomenal.
Coop, that's where you like remember every time Coop would take the lead in this heat race, he scrubbed the trip a little bit better than Eli, go in the corner inside of him, block past Eli, and then go to the whoops, and Eli would swing wide and just blow back past it to the whoops. He did it like 3 times that heat race. Yep. And that's where I think where Eli was really making up time. Even though they weren't that big, you know, when they get choppy, they get dry, they get chunked out, the wheel's dancing. And that was one of the best spots for Eli that weekend. I mean, the entire track was, honestly.
That whole track you made.
It was about time that Eli just said, hey, man, I'm the fastest guy here. I'm going to run it under you. I'm going to move you out of the way. And he did that in the main. He did that in the heat race and then the main. That arena was loud. The place was loud.
Yeah, I don't know. So talking about Eli, this is, I guess the elephant in the room is second race post Mike Williamson.
We're watching the heat race now. Our producer, Dan, the vomiter, the hurler,
human fire hose,
the 6'4" puker, and ultimate producer has got on TV right now. What did you say?
Are you done with the monikers for him?
Yeah, I ran out. Okay. I got so involved with him.
So Eli Tomac, 2 races after Mike Williamson. Is there something to that? Does he have something figured out? Did they change something that wasn't being allowed?
I don't know. You know, I mean, I read the interview on Racetrack.
But we can speculate, and that's what's fun.
For sure. And let's just make a really silly story right now that Mike Williamson used to be Mike Metzger's mechanic.
Back in the
90s. And I think he was an NCY mechanic. And I had my house out there in Rose Garden. And a lot of people used to come stay at my house when they're in box stands because clearly we're in central the United States.
Uh-huh.
It's an easy place to stay. You know, everybody can kind of crash in my place, going from one end of the country to the other. You know, Kerry Hart, Kenny Watson, Deegan's old mechanics, and a lot of the guys used to stay at my place. And Mike Williamson lost his Virginia at my house. Patty Murphy's, man. Dollar drink night on Tuesdays. Look out. Anything can happen.
Such a bad influence, Debo.
Yeah, well done, Mike. I don't know if that has anything to do with him getting fired from Kawasaki, but not
came back to bite him.
Yeah, I don't know if he got fired. I don't know the story, what happened. Steve Mathis from Pulp Mix did a story on Racer X about what happened, and the fact that Kawasaki never had a press release saying what happened.
Well,
and why he left.
I mean, this isn't the bash on Mike Williamson. Or
no,
anything,
absolutely not.
But was there something tangibly to Eli's bike that is where I'm going with that?
I think back in the days of box vans, you were the mechanic was responsible for everything. Motors changing. I think we had a suspension guy in the team, but today there's so many different guys responsible. There's the tech guy, there's the motor guy, there's the suspension guy. The mechanic is basically a parts changer almost in a sense, So I don't really think that Mike Williamson had anything to do with the settings of the bike if Eli didn't like it. Mike had claimed in his interview that he just got tired of the travel and the stress. And obviously something's been going on there.
Yeah.
His bike broke a couple of weekends ago and died. Who knows what's going on?
It was smoking. What round was it? That it was smoking during the heat race, and
he DNF'd the heat race, and it was smoking last week.
Yeah,
it was smoking during the.
He won with a bike that looked like it's going to give up the ghost.
End of the day, I mean, can you imagine being a mechanic? You were literally on the road for 3 days a weekend. You're in the shop 5 days a weekend. That's now 8 days in the 7-day weekend.
Yeah,
and the 7 days a week. I mean, their schedules are gnarly. There's no time. There's no break.
I'm sure Don Stevenson would love it.
Don liked it because he's on the road. You didn't have to go home and deal with the shop. He did his own thing and stuff. Back in the 90s when you're a box fan, you did what you wanted. But now you are either on the road at the races or you're in the shop.
Yeah.
No, there's no Mondays off. You're not a hairdresser on Monday. There's no sabbatical on Sunday for God. You are either on a plane at the races or in the shop. And
it works for some people.
That's gnarly.
Yeah.
I mean, we flew this weekend. I fucking hated it. I stood in the security line for 45 minutes and I'm done.
Never again.
Never again. Until next time. Until these guys keep bringing up this Vegas.
Are you guys going to Vegas?
Vegas.
They're rallying.
They are. We've heard about it. If I guess the biggest thing if we're going to Vegas is if Webb fucks up and the points chase are close, right? So if it's what are we talking? 10 points?
Is Mathis going to have a Pulp MX deal out there? He'll fly out.
I don't know if they're not. I won't make it. Vegas is kind of a trouble. And in Vegas, the lights never come on. They never tell you to go home, and I never do. Next I know it's Tuesday. My flight was on Sunday. I'm like, oh shit, I should have probably gone home or to sleep. Yeah, and I'm Dan puking in the Uber. So what about the 250 class?
What happened in the 250 class?
AC, did you?
Yes.
Ace.
Yes.
I listened to these podcasts again. To AC. AC, man, he's an intelligent kid. I really like listening to him. He basically said after the races that he knew the importance of that race. All day long, the Yamaha Star guys have been started on the outside. They practice starts on the outside. They started on the outside during their heat races. Come main event, they both, Cole and Dylan, start inside of him. And he's like, so it's going to be like that, huh? Because obviously, the best way you could get to the first turn first and punt the guy outside. And he proceeds to talk about the fact he started in first gear in Colorado because the altitude I found a little odd. And he spoke about how he's tall now. He's a big kid, probably 6'1", 6'2". Of him getting his boot up to the shifter, he would have to shift his weight back, and sometimes he would wheelie and he would double clutch. And he was like concerned about that. He's like, I'm in first gear. I got to get out of this gate as fast as I can and move over on those two fucking idiots.
Idiots now, huh?
Well, they're his idiots, not my idiots. And so, which I was so analytical. His coach is Nick Way, big fan of Nick over the years. And obviously Adam did it. Got out of the gate strong, got his first gear, shifted his weight, and got to the first gear. He said, dude, and he said, I went straight to the tough blocks. Blocked him off, come out in front. And that was pretty much that race last Saturday was probably what determined the points.
So they started on the inside of AC.
They started on the inside. I think AC was like close to the box, and those two, Colt and Dylan, were on the inside of them. And Colt, AC got the jump and just went straight to top blocks and just blocked them.
Right.
And all day long, if you were, again, sitting from up third deck, you could see that the outside wasn't that bad. A lot of guys look at Marchbanks, Garrett Marchbanks in the last chance qualifier, got the whole shot from the very outside, got a good start, and even in the main until he crashed. I think that our guys made a mistake by going on the inside. That dictated their start because Adam got out, third or something, and those other guys got out like 8th and 9th.
Yeah, how about that Mosman character?
I don't know.
Holy crap!
He could literally walk in right now, and I wouldn't know. Wouldn't know what he looks like.
I was watching the race with Kolb, right, and I go, "Hey, this Mosman dude, he's gonna screw up my picks,"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Kolb, would you pick Mosman?"
He was nowhere in our 12-man. He was nowhere in anyone's top 5.
And Kolb was like, "Who's Matt Mosman?"
Yeah,
I hadn't even heard of him.
He's had a couple good weekends.
Yeah, and he goes out there and leads half the main event. I think I watched it earlier today, and he was definitely in the lead at the 10-minute mark. I think it might have been even at least or even half the main event.
He rode really well. And he's gotten better and better. I haven't really been that impressed with some of the recent rookies. Cantrell on Troy Lee KTM hasn't really done a whole lot.
Marchbanks.
Marchbanks. He had a good outdoor season last year. He came on, and it's Supercross hasn't done a whole lot either. He crashed. I think he got hurt. I think this last weekend crashed. Who else? I'm looking right now at the results. There's another kid. Who's the other KTM rider? Where the hell is he? Anyways, Cantrell and I don't know. Where'd he go? I don't know. They just haven't really done a whole lot, but most of them had rode really well. You realize that he went from first, started fading back, then fell in the turn right after the finish. Because that's what really changed our points in our fantasy league. Because
Moseman fell.
I don't know if they had it on TV. And then that's when RJ Hampshire caught him and then passed him on the last lap through the whoops, which helped all of our points a lot.
So that put him out of the top 5.
Put him out of the top 5. Yeah. He ended up finishing.
I didn't know he fell.
He ended up finishing 6th.
Still a good ride.
No, 5th. He ended up finishing 5th.
Still a good ride.
And he's now 6th in points, which is good for a rookie, But the KTM and the Husky guys, I think that they're not really delivering quite like I thought they would. What do you think? Who outside the top 5 guys in 2D class? Who do you think is going to be the next kid?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't really pay attention.
What about McAdoo?
What about? I heard he got a Geico ride.
Danny G's favorite kid, man.
Did he finally get a Geico ride?
His girlfriend lives in Omaha, so I know.
Things are looking up for him.
Yeah, and I didn't even know he had a Geico ride until Martin got hurt.
Yeah,
and so he stepped in.
Good for him.
And he's done well. He's actually rode pretty well.
Congratulations on the Geico ride. Inside joke.
Inside joke. Totally inside joke.
No, it's hard for me to keep up with the 250 class. I pay more attention to the 450 dudes, but
yeah, I don't. We never really talk much. I never Instagram about the 250 class. Always the 450 class.
Yeah. What's Davalos going to do next year? Is he retiring, or is he going to step up to the big bikes? Get out of here. Get.
I think he needs a chance. He was pretty good that year in Husky. Remember, at Millville, we're up there. He ran top 5 outdoors.
No, I don't remember.
You never remember. You probably went there. Probably all drunk, pass out in the field somewhere.
Yeah, so.
Like AD.
Not quite that level.
AD
was on one.
No, Davalos is obviously going to be done in the 450 class or 2D class. He's going to 450 next year. He's either getting a ride or he's retiring.
Yeah.
Which is it?
I don't know.
I think Cole Seeley's going to retire next year.
Really?
If Cole Seeley got hurt this race, I don't know we never heard anything about him. There's Garrett Marchbank there. He cased the jump.
He looks like he's holding his dick.
I think he broke his wrist.
I think he broke his dickhead.
He landed literally on his frame and went over the bars. But I think Cole Seeley might retire. He's intelligent. He's tired of getting hurt. He's probably going to go, man, this is bullshit.
He plays guitar. Maybe he can.
Does he play guitar?
Yeah.
Did you know Justin Hill has an album?
Yeah.
An entire album.
He's pretty good.
I did not. I did. I saw. I was reading Racer X on the flight, and they named 5 racers who have albums. He has an album. Justin Vogel has an album.
He's a rapper. He's a rapper.
They gave this genre.
Justin Vogel's a rapper.
And I think they said that Justin was grunge and
no, Vogel's a rapper.
No, Hill was. They're both Justin, obviously. Hill was grunge and Vogel was hip hop.
Yeah.
What about Vogel getting a 4th?
Well, good for him. At least he's not mumble rap. Right?
Yeah. Well, he's not auto tune.
Yeah.
He's probably like you know, dark and dreary fucking IT guy.
Hey.
I'm kidding.
What are you laughing at?
You're very talented. What about Bogle, man? Wins a heat
What
race
about
and
him?
gets a 4th in the main event.
Yeah, he rode well. Bogle, has he made much noise this year?
He's gotten better each week.
Yes.
If you listen to him on his interview, it's really hard to understand because he's got this breath.
He needs to clear his throat one time.
Yeah,
I don't think
he
he's
rode
ever
his ass off, man. He got out in the top, got a good start. His heat race, he just smoked. He was gone.
He won the heat race.
Gone. The main event, he got out top 5, and he passed him and Savachi battled a little bit. Roxon caught up to him. Roxon had nothing for those guys. We go back to Roxon again, who rode very inconsistent.
He was a non-issue.
Yeah, another anomaly. He went.
That was crazy.
Last week he was on fire. I've heard some rumblings. He's not happy with the bike. He's not happy with this. He's not happy with that.
I just got a beard.
Can you imagine though all the shit he's been through?
Ken Roxon.
And then coming back to be relevant. I mean, he's a badass, but there's probably some head issues. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Dark beer drinker. Liz, we're going to need to talk about Friday night here in a little bit. So I need to talk about my red. I need to talk about my red Sparrow.
I just tuned you out for like 10 seconds.
I have her socked that she left in her room that night when she was dancing like a ballerina. So if anyone is a Ken Roxon fan and knows an Elsa that flies Lufthansa from Germany, could you just email me?
What'd you just say?
My German flight attendant. I met.
What was her name?
Elsa.
Elsa.
Yeah, I loved her.
So much.
Like as a verb, you loved her.
She was awesome.
Did you love her?
She was wearing Doc Martens. When have you seen a woman wearing Doc Martens? I mean, she was like 20 years old. But
did you love her in the latrine?
No, we met her on the elevator coming back she's only 20, so she couldn't go out with all their other flight attendants.
Oh, for God's sake, leave them nice girls alone.
I don't know. It happened. No, she was not. She was 30 years old.
And the wives snuck her in the bar.
And we snuck. Yeah, the women snuck her in the bar. And
What?
so she came back to the room and we went to the bar. She took an Adderall. She wanted weed, so we left and went to 7-Eleven, and she found a homeless couple and bought a vape pen. I think it was filled with crack. Because after hitting the thing like 10 times, I'm like, that is not weed in that thing. And she's like, that is not weed in there.
That's exactly
You American men, I do not know.
It was only $20.
It was $20. They wanted 90, and I had 20 in my pocket. And I'm like, here, take that.
We will.
Yeah.
Who was that 20 from?
We can't say.
Yeah.
We can't even say who it was from.
From Chad.
Deep undercover. Lindsay, we went to 7. I'm like, can we buy beer? And it's like, what, like 1 a.m? Like, no, you cannot buy beer. We lock it down at midnight. So I think we bought Gatorade and some Tums and tampons.
Two nights.
Oh, that was Saturday night. You bought tampons. Never get your period at Supercross without it. Go to 7-Eleven. So she comes back and she's like, I want to get some THC.
She called.
I'm like, well, you're in
weed
Denver.
THC.
You're in the great place. You're in the perfect place to do it. And, you know, it's legal. So we're not speaking anything. So like, she's like, I want some THC. I'm like, well, we'll find some. So we go to 7-Eleven. On the way back, she stops and talks to a homeless couple.
You had no idea they were homeless.
I didn't know they're homeless. I just saw how do you know these? How do you know these people with backpacks? And so Lindsay are talking, and she comes over, and she waves us over, and she's like, "They have some THC, but they want $90 for it." And he pulls out a flashlight, and he undoes the flashlight and pulls out this vape pen. I'm like, "Dude, I got $20." He's like, first of all, he's like, "Back up, back up, back up."
Weird, too close.
I'm like, "Okay, dude, I'm sorry, I'm crowding your space." And they're like, he's got, I have this vape pen and I want $90. I'm like, I got 20. He's like, sold. So we go back to the room and we're hitting his vape pen and we're dancing around. Like she had some German music on her YouTube channel. I don't know what that was about. And all of a sudden we both realized Dan's passed out. Dan already puked in the cab. He's a 6'4" and full of vomit.
Yeah, Dan.
Chad was snoring.
Chad's snoring. Chad, yeah, Dan's in the other room. And so we're dancing around and we both look at each other after like 30 minutes and go, this is not THC. I don't know what is in this pen, but I should be passed out right now. And we were literally dancing. So have you ever done crack out of a vape pen, Nick?
Oh, yeah, all the time. It's a hobby of mine.
Well, if you ever go to Denver and you see the homeless couple near the 7-Eleven, don't buy a vape pen.
Offer them 20, not 90, right?
Just know they're willing to negotiate.
Yeah. Whatever you have, they'll take.
I really could have got it for 10.
You probably trade them a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah. And the best part was is for the rest of the weekend, I'm like, someone want to hit the vape pen, and no one wanted to hit the vape pen. The best part is when she wanted to like clean it. She's like, "Can I go up to my room and vape and use my what was it?" She wanted to sanitize it. And like we both already hit it. I'm like, we've already got HPV. We're pretty sure we're done right now. You're too late. You're too late to cleanse this thing now. And then so the next morning, I'm like, well, I'm going to hit it again and see what happens.
New day.
And Chad, and I'm like, hey, Chad, you want to hit this thing? And they're like, no, man, no way. Dad's like, no way. I'm like, come on, man, somebody hit the vape pen with me because I swear someone else got to let me know what it tastes like because I don't know what weed tastes like because I don't smoke weed.
It might be different this time.
All I know is I woke up Saturday morning. Chad and Lindsay are in the bed next to me. I woke up and I'm like, I think this cat totally shit in my mouth and my tongue is swollen. My teeth hurt because I'm like been grinding all night.
He's still here.
I think I slept with them like completely clenched. Yeah.
I pissed myself.
I didn't know. I wasn't.
Damn it.
It wasn't fast, but I was like, oh, the cow. And Chad's phone goes off at 7 in the morning. I think we went to bed at 4.
Oh, I was going to kill him.
Next thing you know.
And the ladies were still up. All the guys were passed out.
Yeah. Oh, well, once again, Jessica and Lindsay can out party their husbands day in and day out.
Yeah, ladies.
So it was Budman's birthday. So Saturday night, Budman was supposed to fly out for the red eye, and the flight got delayed, I believe it was. So he met us at the Rock Bottom Brewery, came out, brought Josh Grant and Chad Reed with them. And
This was Sunday?
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
After the races.
After the race.
Because he was supposed to fly out at like 1, I think, and his flight got delayed till 2. So he dropped me a text and came and met us, which was awesome.
Cool.
Happy birthday, Budman.
Yeah.
46.
We got him a surprise birthday.
He kept making fun of my hair.
Your hair was ridiculous that night.
Budman has the audacity to make fun of your hair.
And then when I said, at least I have hair, the rest of the table's like, ooh, really on his birthday?
And you're the asshole.
I'm the dick all of a sudden now. Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah. But it was good. You know, it was always good seeing him and the team and Josh Grant. I haven't seen Josh in a long time.
What JG have to say?
Josh came over, gave a big hug, and took a picture. You know, I've known Josh, since 2009 when we did.
You guys are homies.
We were homies. We haven't seen each other a lot. You know, I was as manager at the time. Got him a ride at JGR. His first win at Anaheim A1 was one of the coolest things I've ever experienced.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Even as anything I've been a part of in my career, being a part of that with him, to share that with him was awesome, incredible.
I actually remember that race. I remember where I was, who I was with.
I have a great story I really want to write. And I think when we do a podcast, you know, individual like interviews with, like, I want to get Rick Johnson and I talk to Josh. Josh is him doing as well.
That'd be sick.
But the fact, you know, the way that him and I met, when I offered my services to him and he signed with our agency and myself and got him a ride with JGR, or he earned it obviously, and the way he won, and he's a 90s fixture. I mean, he's born in, you know, he's 2020 rider, 2019 rider, but he would fit in 1990s.
Yeah, for sure. He's got that personality.
His talent, his free riding, his attitude was fantastic. And that night in Anaheim, Stewart and Reed go down. We're recapping 2009 Anaheim. We're totally just jumped back like 10 years. Go down and Josh is in third.
It was a muddy race, right? It's kind of a mudder.
A
little on the wet, dry.
The track was maybe a little damp. I think it rained a little bit, but it wasn't a mutter in a sense.
Right. It's greasy though.
Reed and Stewart go down in the whoops, and that left-hander. And
A1 first race of the year.
A1 first 450 main event. I think it was one of the first mains for for even JGR as a team. And Josh is in third, and those guys go down, and all of a sudden he's leading. I'm up in the press box, and I'm like,
oh, you were there?
Oh, yeah, I'm at the race.
Awesome.
And he's leading the race. Josh is now, he's like 5 seconds ahead, and I'm like, holy shit. This rookie kid's going to win this son of a bitch. So I ran down from the press box, ran out onto the track through security, and just
full Jerry Maguire.
Full on. This is a great example because I loved it. When I saw the movie Jerry Maguire years ago, I'm like, I would love to do that.
That was me.
I would love to do that. And I got to be a part of that. And so I ran on the track. I'm yelling and screaming at him in one of the corners. The security's like, get away from the track. And the last lap, he got that tough block cover. Remember, he hit the tough block cover. Yeah. Gets in his rear wheel.
I thought it was done for him.
I'm like, oh my god,
shit was smoking and
freaking out, dude. I'm like the kids, like
he had to have pinned. He had to have been pinned. Like the last.
Can you imagine that, like in your brake?
It's just engine braking the entire
time. He's still jumping everything.
Yeah.
And he wins. And he's crying. I had tears in my eyes. And it was badass. And that's what the sport's about. These huge moments of individuality, and that you don't like team sports, which is a big thing.
That just reminds me, what an eventful weekend it was.
Tiger Woods
for sports, yeah.
Tiger Woods.
Not to diminish the Josh Grant story, which you
it's again segue into the individual accomplishments you do by yourself as an individual. You don't like team sports because it's a package deal.
I don't hate team sports.
No, I'm not saying you do, but you appreciate the individual mano a mano and what you bring as an individual athlete.
I like man and machine. But I don't hate stick and ball sports. I don't know why I'm talking to the camera, but for all 6 of you watching, no. I like a good story. I like stories, where teams or an individual, overcomes adversity and the odds are stacked against them. I like that kind of stuff. So whether it be, motorsports or team sports, whatnot, it's all good with me.
But Tiger Woods, like, again, I mean, I watched it at the end of while we're getting ready to board the plane. I'm watching on my phone on the security line.
Yeah.
Again, the impact of his life and with his kids and stuff. I mean, it goes back to, like I said with Josh, when he's crying, he's on the podium with his family and his team. And even though it's an individual sport, it's a team effort. Always is. I mean, you're the one on the track, you're on the golf course, wherever you're tennis courts, wherever you're an individual, but it's a team effort. Everybody around you makes you better. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, without your dad, without your family's support, without Cody Gilmore.
You're nothing without Cody Gilmore.
Little bitch.
Hey, are you taking questions?
Am I taking questions? Yeah. I don't think anyone's even messaged us.
Yes, they are. Yes, they know.
Again, if anyone knows Elsa from Germany, if you're a Ken Roxon fan, she flies for Lufthansa. We never saw her again. She got mad because Lindsay accused her. She goes, you know what? It's about 3 in the morning. Lindsay goes, you know what? I think you're just waiting for us to pass out so you can rob us.
Joke's on you. You never.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, nice job, wing lady.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Already passed out, right?
Good job there. Never take Lindsay to a party because she will chase off the pussy.
Yeah.
Although you're the one who recognized that you want to hang out with us in the first place. I know. Just
you couldn't fulfill.
I'm bored. Let's start a fight.
If you're ever going to start all I know is if you ever fly, never sit between Chad and Dan on a flight. They take over. They're like sitting next to Andre the Giant.
Right.
Yeah.
That's on a race during the Monster Energy Cup, but it's retarded guys for 5 laps. But it's the what?
Well done, Lindsay. Thank you.
Is that a question?
It is this question. Solid.
You get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car. No wonder Elsa left. Again, if you know Ken Roxon and she knows Elsa, she flies for Lufthansa, German Airlines. This is her sock. She was doing backflips.
That for real is her sock?
That's her sock. I didn't realize that Lindsay found it on the floor. She was doing cartwheels, like she's a ballerina. She did the splits, all kinds of crazy stuff. But she made us listen to German music, which is never good.
And this is what she did the whole time.
Well, I think we're wrapping up the show. We're 45 minutes in. We like to keep it within an hour because, God forsake, we bore anyone.
Well, shit, it's 45 minutes.
We're talking that long. Next weekend, we got a weekend off, Easter. We're going to New York. We're going into Vegas.
Vegas.
Cooper Webb has an 18-point lead. What's going to happen?
I think it's a little too late for Eli.
Too little, too late.
Too little, too late. Yes.
18 points is a lot, and Coop proved that in Denver that he can
here's
salvage it.
Here's what I'm going to boldly say.
Are you gonna boldly go where no man
boldly. Well, yeah. Eli's going to win. He's going to win Supercross.
He's going to win the last 2 main events.
He's going to win out. Yes.
Win out. 24 main events in 3 seasons, no title. That's going to happen?
Yeah, that's going to happen. That's what I'm going to say.
He's on it. I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean,
why,
there can be.
Did he bury Elito? Is he? Will we see Elito again?
Who will steal the spotlight? Who will steal the spotlight? Did that song get any record plays over the weekend?
We have not.
No.
Well,
Did
we have a song that Nick Delozier is a guitar player and a lyrical genius, and he wrote a song that is like the Hanukkah song from Adam Sandler. And happy Hanukkah. Happy, like he's a good-looking Jew.
Yeah. What a fine-looking Jew.
But it's gonna be. He wrote it, the Elito song. Wrap up your Belito.
I don't know.
Schwarzenito.
Man, I don't know if we can like fully release it now that Elito has.
We're gonna have to wait till he fucks up again.
Yeah. Yes.
We're gonna wait.
So that's the stakes.
And then we'll talk about Little Denny.
Yes.
And Elito, he's Eli now. Elito's dead.
Eli Tomac. If Elito reemerges, then the song drops.
This song drops, and it's awesome. You did a great job.
Thank you.
It was fantastic. It's on a YouTube channel. It's on a YouTube channel, right?
It's on a YouTube.
But I want you to write the. I want your lyrics to scroll because the lyrics are fantastic.
You know what?
He compares Elito to Tyler Durden, which was the evil person in Fight Club.
Yeah.
He compares Elito to Danny DeVito, because he was the ugly twin.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I mean, it is fucking genius.
So yeah, there's all kinds of little
wrap it up like a burrito.
YouTube has this feature to where you can click on the video, like little CC closed captions deal, and it'll like attempt in its best effort to analyze what you're saying. And I did that to my video. Like I released my video that I uploaded.
Fantastic.
Recent enough.
Yeah.
To where that technology was available and applicable to my video, and I clicked on it the other day. For the most part, it gets it right, but it completely fucks up the rest of it, and it's kind of funny.
It's really funny. If Elito rears his ugly head, you're gonna sing it live.
Yeah,
I'm down for that
in this kitchen.
I'm down.
Awesome. And you did the lyrics are fantastic. I mean, you nailed it. The comparison of the darkness of other characters and of Eli. I mean. We love Eli. I mean, we were stoked on his Denver win. He deserved it. The way that we haven't talked about the way the crowd just exploded.
Yeah.
I mean, we sat in the upper third bowl.
It was all for Eli.
And the track ran around the edge of the floor, and the stadium erupted as he went around the track. It was awesome. It was really cool to witness.
Yeah, for sure.
And to ever do that at a home track as he had to, and it was just badass. It was cool to witness.
Yeah, and
I'm happy for him.
I mean, if this ever makes it back to Eli, I mean. You give him shit all the time, but
I want him to do well. I
don't we don't.
It's just. I mean, it's a story. It's like
he is a story.
It's like shooting fish in a barrel.
He is a story.
When he wins 1 week, he gets a 10th another. But I want him to do well. I tell him that. Again, it goes back to my son having one motocross artifact in his entire room, which is an Eli Tomac jersey hanging. I posted that thing on Instagram, and I even direct messaged him and said, "Hey man, way to fuck go. Welcome back." And he absolutely crushed it. But
so you give credit when credit is due, and that's awesome.
And that's what I want him to. I want him to succeed. You see, I've been watching for years to watch the writer at their best, which we saw in Denver when he was crushing. It's fucking fun to watch, man.
Yeah,
it's enjoyable.
Totally another level. And Eli only catches as much shit as he does because he is as talented as he is.
Exactly. If he was just a 10th place guy and running 10th, 15th, no one talking about him. But he is one of the best American riders we've had in the last 5 years.
I mean, case in point, he dominated Denver.
Dominated.
Now, if he comes back next weekend and gets an 11th or 12th, what the fuck? We're gonna get in your ass about that.
We're gonna bust your chops.
Yeah,
and I said that during.
I might write another song.
The live pulp show in Friday night in Denver. And I'm like, have you ever seen MC win and get a 10th? Never.
Yeah.
You ever seen RC get a win and get a 10th?
Yeah.
Never. But as he's figuring out the bike, he throws his confidence. I love the aggression. As soon as we saw in that heat race when he moved Coop out of the way,
that's badass.
That's him.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when he had a chance to move Coop out of the way, he didn't.
Yeah.
He tucked inside, went oops, and that is a mindset. It's really a mindset.
Not to take away anything from Cooper Webb, though, he's managing the championship
crushed it
pretty well.
Came from outside, whatever.
Had
to deal with Savachi.
Yeah. What was interesting was early on the race.
We're everywhere right now tonight. We're just jumping.
Well, no. This.
No, I'm with you.
Off the start, Tomac and Webb, they were 5th and 6th. Tomac, he was feeling that. He was feeling it, and he went straight to first within a couple laps.
That's right? Again, the no pressure.
And then I look back, and then I see where Webb's at. He hadn't made any progress at all.
That is him managing, though. You know that. I think Eli could take the chances. Stick it in where you wanted to, push to where you wanted to, move guys around.
That's a good point.
Coop had to Coop's like
he knew he had time.
I got time. I don't need to win this thing. I got a 21-point lead. I'm gonna move through the pack at my own comfort level.
Yeah.
Knowing Savachi's in front of him, Joey ran him really pretty hard in the heat race. Our friend JR's like, man, those guys are gonna knock Webb down. No one's gonna knock Webb down. No one wants to be. It's an unwritten rule, like in baseball. Like you don't flip the bat. You don't do shit. You're not going to be the guy that knocks down the points leader. You're just not going to be that guy. It'll forever scar you in our history.
I feel like
no one's going to knock him down. I promise you. No one.
Man, I feel like Eli was disregarding that unwritten rule.
Well, Eli will.
Yeah.
I mean, look at
and like holy shit, Eli will. But it was impressive to see Cooper not go down or off the track in that heat race number 2.
But
those guys were duking it out.
The also-rans, top 5 also-rans of Savachi and Bogle, and they're not going to knock Cooper Webb down. They're just not going to.
Right.
I mean, for one, Bogle's on a KTM is the same, but Joey Savachi is not going to. I mean, he'll run him hard and he'll run him aggressive, but he's not going to punt Cooper Webb. That's just not going to happen.
Blatantly, intentionally.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You don't want that on your scorecard for the rest of your career.
It comes back sevenfold.
It's just not a good sign for you, a good image. But it was funny that Jason Thomas, during the Pulp show on Friday said, will we see a holdup situation?
Like last year? Was that last year?
2 years ago.
Vegas?
With Dungey. 2 years ago with Dungey.
Right.
Was like a backup deal.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? If Eli gets within.
Is it mathematically possible at this point?
He's 18 points behind.
With 2 rounds to go.
Eli wins next week or 2 weeks in New Jersey, and Cooper gets a 4th.
Well, let's just say he gets the 2nd.
That's why he's down to 15 points. You would have to knock him back to 16th at that point or 17th. He would have to for that to happen in Vegas again. Eli would have to be within 7 points, I think.
Yeah,
and that would mean that he would have to win New Jersey, and Coop would have to get like an 8, which ain't gonna happen.
No,
because again, becomes at the end of the season, the riders you're chasing don't want to fuck you up, so you kind of just get out of their way. I mean, if Coop starts 10th and he starts coming through the pack. Those guys are going to go, oh,
I'll get a 5th, fuck it, and win.
Yeah, they'll get out of his way. They won't ride him aggressive. They don't want to be that guy to fuck him up because they know it's the last race. They're not into it. Just go race, do your thing. You've earned it. So it's going to take a grenade.
Yeah. So I don't know. Cooper Webb's probably your Supercross champion.
Cooper Webb, 2019 Supercross champion.
Does Eli carry this momentum into the outdoors?
That's a whole nother subject. I don't even know.
It's two totally different sports.
We'll get into that in a different show. We're going to wrap up. What do you think? 55 minutes in. We're going to wrap up the.
Keep going. You're being amazing.
Oh. I don't know what that means.
Is that the flight attendant?
No, it's not.
The flight attendant commenting?
No, I wish. Again, if you know Ken Roxon, you're from Germany, you know Elsa, and this is her sock. Have her DM me on Instagram because I'd love to see her again.
I want the other one.
She has purple hair.
It's like Cinderella's slippers.
Yeah, it's a big sock. What's that? Is that wool? I think it's wool. Who knows what kind of socks they wear in Germany?
That's a microfiber. I could wash my car with this thing.
So the question is, during the Monster Energy Cup, during the intermission, there's a 5-lap race with the retired racers, Dungey, Poto, RC, Deegan, and so on.
Stevenson.
Well, obviously, the guy who raced most recent, I think, would win, and that would probably be Ryan Dungey.
What was the question?
Who would win in a 5-lap race, Dungey, Poto, RC, or Deegan?
Not Deegan.
Well, Brian would backflip the fuck out of him and then beat him up afterwards.
Deegan would Mario hop back
and then outmarket them all.
Yeah.
I think he's made more money.
And
than
just
all
like
of them.
stuff $100 bills in their mouths.
God, he's crushing.
Get the fuck out of here.
And Brian's a good friend of ours from Bellevue, Nebraska. Grew up with him and crushing it. RC is probably rides more. Well, Villapoto rode recently.
Poto would win.
Do you think? I think Villapoto would probably.
Yes, definitely.
Ryan, I don't think Dungy's been on a bike. You think Dungy's still riding?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know. It's a weird thing when you
would
retire.
you? Would you?
I tried and I crashed.
No,
and
if
I broke
you
my
were
hand.
Ryan
And this is what
Dungy.
happened. No, I think when Dungy was done, he's done.
Right.
But
okay.
Villapoto was
the thing.
done, but I kind of felt like I should come back.
Yeah. And I think Villapoto started to enjoy dirt bikes post-retirement.
And dirt bikes are stupid.
Fuck dirt
They're
bikes.
so stupid. I hate them.
All right, close that laptop. We're done.
Okay. I'm kidding. Dirt bikes are great. We love the sports. I just don't like riding them. I like watching now. So this is it. Episode 2 of DBOs Absurd After Party, live from the Cullinane Studios here in Omaha, Nebraska. My co-host Nick DeLozier, the Cullinane family. Thank you so much from Denver. Absolutely crush it. If we do fall asleep, try not to rob us.
I apologize to Eli
And
Tomac.
again, I apologize to Eli Tomac. We did not get a chance to get him on tonight.
We ran out of time.
Ran out of time, but next week we'll get Eli back on. So
Yeah, promise.
Have a great night. Love you guys.
All right.
Peace.
Somebody else just
I love that Kimmel ending.
Somebody else just asked a question. Everybody guys are done. Yeah, there's more people popping up. Yeah, guys are like.
Apologize.
You guys should've kept